Aye, aye, smarty pants. If it's adventure and buried treasure ye seek, then perhaps it's a pirate's life for you. There's just one thing. Most pirates didn't talk like that.
Huh?
The pirate talk you're used to hearing can be traced most accurately back to the 1950s in the United States, when Disney released the movie Treasure Island, featuring Long John Silver,
Arr!
a fictional swashbuckling pirate with a peg leg and a pet parrot.
Squawk, squawk.
The fact is, most of what you know about pirates is wrong. And most of what's true is unknown. And that's because there's almost nothing written about pirates by pirates.
Oi, you tried writing on a rocking boat in a stormy sea with crashing waves, getting your papers all nice and soggy.
For example, the way they talk. Since pirates came from all over, they simply brought whatever homeland dialect or manner of speaking aboard with them.
Many pirates came from the British Isles, so if me and me mates sound British, it's 'cause we are.
Take "arr," for example. That became known as pirate speak. But the truth is, in those days, "arr" was a common word in the English West Country, sort of a way of saying yes, not unlike how Canadians end sentences with "eh?"
Hey, bud, you up for a game of hockey, eh?
But who were the pirates, and where did they come from? And how did a bunch of bloodthirsty criminals get their own Disney theme park ride? It's time to raise the Jolly Roger and hit the high seas for a whiff of history and science on
Who smarted? Who's smarted? Who's smart? Is it you? Is it me? Is it science or history? Listen up, everyone. We make smarting lots of fun on Who Smarted.
Most historians agree the golden age of piracy is the time period from 1650 to 1730, during which maritime piracy was very common in the Caribbean, United Kingdom, Indian Ocean, North America, and West Africa.
Maritime, meaning stuff happening at sea.
This is also the time when fearsome pirates you may have heard of, like Blackbeard, Captain Kidd, and Calico Jack, terrorized the seas and coastal cities. And based on the movies and theme park rides inspired by them, you might get the sense that being a pirate was cool and kind of fun.
Yo ho ho ho, a pirate's life for me.
But was it really?
Arr, don't listen to him. Pirating be exciting. Who among you smarty pantses wishes to be a pirate?
Not me. I'll be in my house, eating pizza and watching Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, you stay out of this. For the rest of yous, I'll give you a pirate quiz. If you think yes to a question, shout "Arr!" If you think no, shout "Nay!" Ready? Do you loves adventure?
Aye, matey.
Do you loves the ocean? Do you like sleeping in a hammock? Do you like working yourself to exhaustion every day?
All hands on deck.
Do you like eating stale bread? Do you like wearing the same stinky underwear 28 days in a row and going to the bathroom in a bucket while the ship's a swaying and the wind's a blowing? If you said "arr" to all me questions, come aboard. Squawk, squawk.
And if you said no to one or more of those questions, you're like most people. And if you said yes, maybe this will change your mind. There was no heat or air conditioning aboard the ships, no washing machines, showers, or toilets. Depending where in the world you sailed, seas could be stormy and freezing, or calm and blisteringly hot. Food was scarce, and illness was common. But at least you'd be in constant fights, hunted by the law, and could be arrested and imprisoned at any time. I'm being sarcastic in case that wasn't obvious. Yeah, not so great after all. But somebody did it. So who were the first pirates, and when did pirating start? For the answer, let's go to ancient Greece. Sir, you look like an ancient Greek. What can you tell me about pirates?
Pirates have existed since antiquity or ancient times. They sailed the Mediterranean, stealing from merchant ships and getting into great battles with naval warships sent to prevent their pillaging. How did you know I was an ancient Greek?
Well, for starters, you're wearing a tunic.
Fair enough. The first recorded instances of piracy date back to the 14th century BC, about 34,000 years ago. Clay tablets were discovered bearing messages written between the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten and his allies, in which they mention piracy, and how two groups of pirates, the Luca and the Sheridan, were disrupting trade and endangering citizens.
Wow, people were writing about pirates way before Robert Louis Stevenson wrote about buccaneers and buried gold in Treasure Island in 1883.
Absolutely. The Greeks and Romans of 8th century BC included pirates in their art and literature. Pirates are mentioned in the Iliad and the Odyssey. The Greek word pirates literally means one who attacks ships.
Eventually, this term morphed into the Latin word pirata, meaning sea robber, which soon morphed into
Pirates, straight ahead!
Piracy continued in the region through the height of the Roman Empire, when young Julius Caesar was kidnapped by Cilician pirates and held for ransom on the island of Farmakonisi. After 38 days, the ransom was paid, and Caesar was freed. He would later hunt down and imprison his captors.
Take that, you scoundrels. Nobody messes with Julius Caesar. Oh, hi, Brutus.
As civilizations evolved and oceanic trade routes expanded, so did the pirate trade. Pirates were outlaw rebels who rejected the laws of their land and took to the sea where rules did not apply. Nearly every culture has had pirates, from the Vikings
Sir, tonight we sail with Njord.
to the Chinese. One of the most fearsome pirates in all of history was a woman named Qing Shi, who led a Chinese pirate fleet during the 19th century Qing dynasty. Qing commanded more than 1,800 ships and 70,000 crew members. To put that in perspective, the most famous pirate of them all, Blackbeard, only commanded 4 ships and 400 men. So yeah, Qing was next level. During her years as a pirate commander, Qing came into conflict with the Portuguese Empire and even fought battles against the Portuguese Navy. While she didn't defeat them, she did manage to negotiate a surrender, guaranteeing that she and her crew would not be punished for their crimes.
Whoa.
Talk about a shrewd and clever pirate. Most pirate captains were self-employed rebel seafarers, but some were employed by their government.
Huh?
Throughout the 16th century, British ships led by Lady Mary Killigrew, Sir Walter Raleigh, and Sir Francis Drake attacked Spanish merchant ships and coastal settlements throughout the Caribbean and across the Atlantic shipping routes between Europe and the Americas. Not only did these acts of piracy go unpunished by Britain's Queen Elizabeth I, it was she who gave them the financial support to do it.
God save the Queen and her pirates.
Plundering other ships to build wealth and gain naval supremacy, which is control of the seas, may have been encouraged and even ordered by the Queen of England. But most would rightfully argue it still counts as piracy.
Maybe not.
How could it not be?
Well, the gold the British stole from the Spanish was the gold the conquistadors stole from the indigenous peoples of the Americas in places like Mexico and Peru. So who's really the bad guys?
He's got a point. One thing to always consider when it comes to history, deciding who's the bad guy and who's the good guy often depends whose side of the story you hear. But make no mistakes, pirates are definitely the bad guys and girls, right? Yet, why are they often glorified and made to look cool? After all, most criminals don't have baseball and football teams named after them or their own ride at Disneyland.
Keep your hands in the ride at all times.
Could part of the reason we glorify these bad buccaneers be that they played an important role in early American history? You'll find out right after this quick break. Now back to Who Smarted. It's the late 1600s. The colonies established in North America are being referred to as the New World, and people from Europe are flocking to start new lives in these new cities. And that includes pirates from the golden age of piracy. To these Atlantic Ocean plunderers, New York, Philadelphia, Charleston, and Boston sounded like a great place to retire and escape punishment. That included a pirate named Moses Butterworth, who had served under the notorious swashbuckler Captain Kidd. Unfortunately for Moses, he was arrested and jailed by British authorities who caught him headed for New Jersey from Boston. But that's where things get interesting. Colonists, who were steadily growing tired of submitting to the old rules of the British, sided with Butterworth and rioted, demanding his release. In order to keep the peace, Butterworth was freed. But that was just the beginning. Colonists continued rioting, breaking pirates out of jail and protecting them as a way of rebelling against the British.
It was great. Pirates could soon be found near most Atlantic seaports. These places were dubbed pirates' nests by royalists who wanted the British government to maintain control. But lots of pirates like me blended into colonial life and contributed to the economic development of early America. We ran businesses, held elected office, bought land and livestock, and settled into farming and family life.
It wasn't that long ago Queen Elizabeth was paying people to be pirates to help Britain. Now, pirates were helping the people of the New World rebel against Britain. Not all pirates left their ships for a life of relative comfort. Some infamous pirates like Blackbeard, Bartholomew Roberts, Anne Bonny, and Mary Read remained at sea where they followed no country's law and sailed under no flag but their own. Hey, do you know what that famous skull and crossbones pirate flag is called? Is it A, the Jolly Roger?
Ahar, matey!
B, the Jolly Rancher?
Shiver me timbers!
Or C, the Jolly Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Why, it's A, the Jolly Roger. The name Jolly Roger existed long before the skull and crossbones version, which became popular in the 1700s. In fact, there have been many pirate flag designs, including ones with skeletons holding spears and an all-red flag that symbolized blood. But no matter what the design, the message was clear. When a vessel flying a pirate flag approached, you'd better surrender or face attack and possible death or kidnapping. And while pirates may seem like a thing of the past, pirates and pirating still exist today, most notably off the coast of Africa and Southeast Asia. Ships are boarded and held for ransom until the pirates get paid or the law stops them. But no, there aren't any peg legs, eye patches, or hooks for hands. But there might be a parrot. A big shout out to Gabriel and Nathan in Toms River, New Jersey. We love that you love Who Smarted. This episode, Pirates, was written by Libby Ward and voiced by Brandon Blackbeard Bayless, Jim Eisler, Max Kamaski, and Jerry Colbert. Additional voices, technical direction, and sound design by Josh Hahn. Who Smarted is recorded and mixed at the Relic Room Studios. Our associate producer is Max Kamaski. The theme song is by Brian Suarez, and lyrics written and performed by Adam Tex Davis. Who Smarted was created and produced by Adam Tex Davis and Jerry Colbert. This is an Atomic Entertainment production.